What's up, y'all? Thank you for taking the time to check this video out. And today is Wednesday, April 26, 2017. We are on the SSSVEDA vlogging every day in April, day number 26, y'all. Day number 26. So it is exciting to be on the tail end of this vlogging everyday challenge. So today I actually wanted to answer a question that I believe is coming up tomorrow, which is, what is your favorite sport? Now, I have two favorite sports. Okay, I'm gonna share. The first one is actually one that I fell in love with, was my first type of fitness growing up from elementary school all the way into my early college years, and that is basketball. Yes, they used to call me the three-point specialist. You know, your boy had Jimmy all day. No, I'm just playing. But no, I love shooting behind the arc. That was my thing. Obviously, being a short kid, like I wasn't going to the hole that much. So shooting was one of my favorite things to do in basketball. But I loved it growing up. Watching the Bulls was one of my favorite teams. You know, Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Steve Kerr, all those guys. And then, of course, being from the Bay Area, give it up for the Yay, y'all. You know, I loved watching the Golden State Warriors. So, you know, from Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin, Latrell Sprewell, Chris Webber, you know, all those guys in that era I love to watch. So that was my favorite sport for most of my life. Now being in my mid-30s, I actually fell in love with another sport, and the sport is called Olympic weightlifting. Yes, Olympic weightlifting. Some of you might be thinking, Olympic weightlifting, what is that? Well, Olympic weightlifting is the snatch, or two movements called the snatch and the clean and jerk. Now, the reason they're called Olympic weightlifting is because these are the only two lifting movements. Okay, these are the only two weightlifting movements that are actually in the Olympics. Okay, and in a little while, I'm going to show you some of the clips from my Olympic weightlifting competitions. But, you know, when you think about Olympic weightlifting, yes, Olympic weightlifting. Now, some of you might be thinking, what is Olympic weightlifting? Well, Olympic weightlifting consists of two movements, two weightlifting movements, one of them called the snatch, the other one called the clean and jerk. Now, why are they called Olympic weightlifting movements? And it's because these are the only two weightlifting movements that they have in the Olympics that you can actually compete for. So when you think about other weightlifting movements like the bench press, the back squat, the front squat, the deadlift, you think about those kinds of lifts, which is more powerlifting, those movements aren't in the Olympics. Like, you can't compete for your country and get a gold, silver, or bronze medal when it comes to those weightlifting movements. But for the snatch and the clean and jerk, they have been around for years, since the beginning of the Olympics. So that has been my favorite sport up until today. Now, here's why. In 2011, I joined CrossFit, which is another type of awesome training. But I noticed people started getting hurt, people started getting injured, myself included, when it came to doing these Olympic movements, these Olympic weightlifting movements. So I decided that I wanted to get more education on it, because I was thinking like there has to be, you know, a better way to do this so we're not getting hurt and so we can continue to train and you know, not be injured. So I decided I wanted to take a seminar. It was the United States of America weightlifting seminar certification, and I took it in San Ramon under the direction of Coach Dave Spitz. The gym was called California Strength, and I got this back in 2014, and I'm gonna tell you what, it was the best decision of my life. I mean, when I went to the seminar, I was coming just for my own knowledge so I can be a better CrossFitter, or so I could be more efficient in the movements, you know, learn different ways to stretch, learn different ways to take care of myself so I didn't get hurt, and I was gonna share that with everyone in the gym. But when I was taking the seminar, I started seeing how weightlifting is a true foundation, not just to functional fitness, but even to other sports. I started learning how the Olympic movements can be helpful in basketball, in football, in baseball, in softball. And I started noticing how this is a full body movement that can take care of all of your major muscle groups in less than an hour. So I started thinking to myself, wow, this is amazing. And not only did I see how it's the foundation for other sports, but I also started seeing how it was a foundation for other people who just wanted to be healthy and fit. You see people from, you know, from younger ages to middle school, high school, college, all the way up until senior citizens doing the Olympic weightlifting movements. So that's when I started thinking to myself, because I know going into it, I was thinking, man, a lot of people think Olympic weightlifting is just all this heavy weight, people getting hurt, people getting injured. You see the videos of people passing out every time they catch a clean or a front squat or a gym fail where the barbell's over their head and then it falls on them. And people think that that's what Olympic weightlifting is, or that's why they don't do it, because they don't want to get hurt. And I agree. Can you get hurt in Olympic weightlifting? Yes. But if you think about it, you can get hurt in any sport. Oh, I'm into the fly. You can get hurt in any sport if it's done improperly, if it's done without the right supervision, right? So I think that's really the most important thing here with any sport, but especially Olympic weightlifting. It can be done for a long time injury-free. It can be done to the point where you can compete. So it doesn't matter whether you're a competitor, whether you're doing it recreationally, or even if you just started. The idea is that just do it properly. Take your time, learn the technique, learn the mechanics. Don't worry about the weight. Don't worry about what the next person is doing, or what the next person is doing in terms of weight. I mean, I used to be that guy, I'm in my mid-30s and I would see a young buck like in his 20s, doing all this, snatching all this weight or clean and jerking all this weight. I'm thinking to myself, hey man, I'm stronger than him, but it's not about that. And I think that's what happens sometimes also. People get, their ego gets in the way. And that's also the reason why a lot of people get hurt, because they're trying to do too much too early. So I'm a firm advocate for Olympic weightlifting. I do say this, if it's something you want to get into, find a gym that specializes in it. Talk to the coach, of course, talk to your physician, consult with your doctor, and just make sure that you do it properly so that you're not getting hurt and it's not putting you out or injuring you. So with that being said, here are a couple clips of me doing some Olympic weightlifting competitions. And one thing I love about the competitions is that here's a sport where you have to maintain your weight but still stay strong. It doesn't matter what age you're at. You can do it at any age, from youth all the way to senior citizen, and I love it. So here's a couple of my videos. So hope you enjoy, and remember guys, join the tribe and click subscribe, and your boy's out. Peace. What I love about working with young people